Now, this marks the first time in Graham history that they've had two wrestlers win states in the same year, and they just so happen to be brothers. Well, last night, the Richlands basketball program hosted Marion for a showdown on the hardwood, but the focus wasn't on three-point shots, fancy dribbling, or sure-handed layups. It was on something much bigger than the game. The Graham softball program hasn't seen much success in the last 2 decades, but the 2019 squad is off to the best start to the season that they've had since the 1990s. Hey, Mel, yeah, maybe freezing outside right now, but the competition is heating up here at the Big Atlantic Classic. We've got 3 big games coming up here tonight. This is my pitch to Philadelphia. I will commit 13 years of my life for $329 million less than Bryce Harper did. Give me $1 million, and I'm yours for 13 years, you know, I mean.
Just go try out, you got it.
I mean, the production may not be the same, but 13 years of solid commitment, $1 million, that's a bargain, you know. All right. Well,
at least in the world of baseball.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, stay with us. Final look at your forecast coming up in a second. Back in January, we brought you the story of Richlands basketball's Pack for Zach event, where the Blue Tornado raised money to help out the family of Zach Carter, a 13-year-old Richlands native that's been battling cancer. And while the disease has taken a toll on Zach's body, his bond with his sister remains as strong as ever.
She's been his protector from the very beginning and loved him more than anything. So
Always had a special bond.
Yeah, they've always had a special bond.
Rachel and Zach Carter have the kind of relationship that every parent dreams of their kids having.
If possible, they were together, yeah. And just he looked up to her from the very beginning, and she looked out for him from the very beginning and just loved him from the very beginning.
When Rachel was 4 years old, she started to play soccer. When Zach was old enough, he followed in his big sister's footsteps.
It was such a big part of Rachel's life already, and he was around all that. And I think, yeah, I was just kind of expecting, well, I'm going to play soccer too. And they would play in the yard, and he was very competitive with her in the yard.
But before a love for the sport could truly blossom, Zach got sick. After multiple tests, the Carter family received a phone call that would change their lives forever.
They called us and they said, how is he? And I'm like, he's had no symptoms. He's doing great. He's playing the Wii right now. And they said, he has cancer. You need to get back here as fast as you can get here. And that's how we found out.
It was scary. I didn't really realize much of what was going on. I mean, I was scared, but I didn't really know what it meant.
But after months of intensive treatments, Zach came out victorious. He defeated lymphoma and was cancer-free for nearly 5 years. But then he and his family were blindsided by a different form of the same disease. The diagnosis, metastatic osteosarcoma.
I couldn't believe it was happening again. Yeah.
Over the next 3 years, Zach would have to have both of his legs amputated in an attempt to rid his body of the deadly disease.
He's already a miracle. We're almost 3 years into this battle, and he's still positive. He's still smiling. Now he cracks more amputation jokes and just deals with whatever comes his way.
Zach has been undergoing treatments at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Meanwhile, his sister Rachel has had to stay behind in Richlands, where she's been excelling in academics and, of course, in sports.
It's very difficult at times, but then I remember everything he's going through, and even when my schedule's chaotic, I remember that he stays strong through it all and stays positive, so I try to look at the bigger picture.
But in between treatments, Zach has been able to come home to cheer on his sister as she faces her opponents on the soccer field, giving her the strength to push on.
Oh, it means the world to me. Always when I'm tired in a game and it's hard to keep going, I can pick his voice out of all the voices in the crowd, and it helps me to keep pressing on.
I love it so much.
In early April, scans came back showing no evidence of cancer in Zach's body. But the fight is not over, as osteosarcoma is known for returning again and again and again. Although the future is uncertain, there is one thing that you can bet on. Zach Carter will continue to fight his disease with his protector, his big sister, by his side.
Chase, Zach is an incredible young man. He has such a positive attitude, too. So where does Zach and his family, where do they draw their strength from?
Well, the funny thing is, this family, they draw their strength from Zach, his ability to smile through everything he's been through. I can't even imagine. Zach gets his strength from his faith. They are a family of faith, and they get a lot of their strength through that. And it was incredible to be able to work on that story. I got a bracelet from that family. It says #ZachStrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear this thing for a while.
That's beautiful, and you did a great story. Thank you, Chase.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. Travis Roberts will have a final look at your forecast when we return.
They cut the lights on tonight, and Mac Osborne puts on a show for the ages that nobody's going to forget anytime soon.
Yeah, the new lights are bright, but nothing shine brighter than Mac Osborne tonight.
Perfection, a word defined as the condition, state, or quality of being free from all flaws or defects. On Thursday night, Richlands pitcher Mac Osborne achieved just that.
Well, I knew I had not let anyone hit, no walks, but I didn't really think about that. I was just excited that we got the win.
Osborne pitched the perfect game. 18 batters stepped up to the plate for Graham, and each and every one of them struck out.
It's a rarity. You have no hitters and shutouts, but rarely do you get a game where it's completely strikeouts.
I'm pretty proud of it. It's one of those games I'm probably going to remember for the rest of my life.
Mac was nearly perfect with a bat in her hand as well. In her first 2 turns at the plate, she hit home runs both times.
I was not expecting it. I knew coming in I had to get some good hits to get us started. And when that came off the bat, I just knew it was gone.
When you see Mac hit the ball, it's going to be hard. There's very few times that she pops up or strikes out. She's going to make solid contact.
In 2018, Mac Osborne won the Virginia 2A State Player of the Year award, and without a doubt, she's in the running for that same honor this year. Well, there's been a debate raging on all season about who the best AA team in the state of West Virginia is. Is it Wyoming East or is it Fairmont Senior? I'm Chase Parker. It's time to find that out. It's the state championship game, the senior class from East. Well, they won it before when they were freshmen against this same team, the Lady Polar Bears. One of those seniors, Jazz Blankenship, comes out on a mission. She scored the first 6 points for East off of a pair of threes. You think she's excited about it. They led 17-7 after 1, but my oh my, how the tide turned in the second quarter. Lady Polar Bears closed the half on a 14-3 run, capped off by that Marley Washington's layup. And then more of the same came in the third. Courtney Wilfong fights through the contact for 2, but Emily Saunders, she's the Gatorade Player of the Year. She goes to work inside. The turnaround jumper cuts Fairmont's lead to 4, but Fairmont would pull away again. Abby Faulkner steps back to put the Polar Bears up by 11. East would shoot just 1 for 14 in the fourth, and that was all she wrote. Wyoming East falls short in the state championship game, 39-51 the final. So definitely not the outcome that the Lady Warriors were hoping for. Our Nick Dugan was there, and he's standing by live with more from the big game. Nick?
Hey, Chase, here for you in Charleston. I'm Nick Dugan. We'll send things back to you in the studio, Chase.
Thanks, Nick. Certainly some disappointing stuff right there. But while that game was going on, the Concord Lady Mountain Lions were up in Wheeling taking on Charleston with a trip to the Mountain East Conference Championship game on the line. And in terms of wins, the Concord women's team has never had a more successful season than this one with 23 victories. We start late in the second. Concord trails, but Adriana Poole puts up the mid-range shot, and the deficit goes to 7 going into the break, but Charleston got even more separation in the second half. Brooklyn Pinnell hits the 3 from the corner, and the Golden Eagles go up 50-33. Time becomes the enemy of Concord here, so Poole hits the long ball trying to get points in bulk, but Charleston just wouldn't go away. Rosiah Farrington gets the shot to go from underneath. The Lady Mountain Lions' magical season comes to an end. 68-59 the final. And the Concord men are taking on West Liberty right now in the semifinal round. We'll have the results from that game coming up tonight at 11. That's it for sports. We'll be right back with the last look at your forecast.